It's Saturday. Happy Saturday. Hope you all have a good weekend this weekend and have some plans. Um, Always like to show this upper level water vapor pattern in the morning, and then we'll show you the long wave IR with the highest cloud top, showing where the most precip and storms are. You can see that area in the upper Midwest is still um, there's still some storms going on with another complex in the plains into Texas, and these areas will be where there'll be a focus for this area here will be a focus for flooding in the coming days again. Unfortunately, you have this upper level low out here in the Pacific, and you have a just a really weak ridging or flattened ridge and a deepening trough. You can see the excuse me. Well, it goes like this, of course, but see the flow there. It's gonna what's gonna happen is this is gonna tap in. There's gonna be a flow coming off the Gulf at the lower levels and up, and this is all gonna bring even more precip into Texas, just because of the deep southerly flow of moisture with short waves moving through the flow to provide lift and focus for storms. Out here in the Atlantic, looks like what you have is a tropospheric, a trough, upper level system off um, out here in the Atlantic, which is there's usually a feature like this in this area this time of year. And sometimes you can get storms, tropical systems that form on the eastern side of them sometimes. Not right now, but that's kind of interesting. Then you have what I describe as a little bit of a ridge over the southeast, weak anticyclonic flow, but it's there nonetheless. With a few more, and this might be an MCV, and this might be an MCV as well here, but these other features on the eastern side can also enhance lift. Um, so that being said, we'll look at the upper level flow next in the United States. This upper level flow goes. Um, Using pivotal weather today for this. It's using the interface. I'm using the American model, the GFX model shows the upper level pattern here. See this? See what run this is. Okay. Well, I don't have enough data for the next run. Anyway, this is so the upper level, mid-level perturbation moved through there, which likely is what caused severe weather and flooding rains yesterday and today, early today. The flow is enhanced once again. up in this area today, um, which is probably in this area is probably the best chance for severe weather. You can see what's happening here. We have like a feature with a relatively weak southerly flow, um, but you can see some flow here at different levels. Some enhanced winds at the 700 millibars, a little closer to the surface, enhanced winds. Nothing there. See the southerly flow and enhanced a little bit at different times, which is likely what's going to enhance rainfall in the coming days in this area. We get a flow like this off the Gulf. Uh, have no other really mechanisms to move it anywhere. We get rain. The rest of the U.S. pretty much a zonal flow with mid-level perturbations moving through the flow here. C1 to the upper Midwest. Looks like another couple mid-level shortwave developing, enhancing the flow over the upper Midwest and a large system over Canada into the is barely impinging on the northern two states. Likely, this is this is next week, so that's 7 days out. What I'm seeing here is um, broad ridging in the southeast and a little upper level feature here in the desert southwest. So this means to me that we're going to have some hot weather in the southeast with this ridge. Not necessarily that strong, but the zonal flow aloft it's going to lead to pretty stagnant conditions over a good portion of the southern tier of the United States, with most of the action as far as severe weather up in the north. And you have kind of a split flow up here. Um, anyway, sensible weather. It's supposed to be pretty hot next week. That's what I'm going to talk about next is the temperatures, and after that, I'm going to talk about the precip chances over the coming days, and then we'll talk about the severe weather threat over the next 3 days, and an update on the tropics, my thinking on it, and I'll end with an analysis of the radar from one of the models for the next day or so, showing where we think the biggest precip, where the weather's going to be, really. And I'll also go over the flood outlook for the coming days. Um, you can see here where the hottest temps are going to be. Day one, it's going to be hot in the upper Midwest. It also cools off quite a bit at night, so that's kind of nice. Um, day two still cools off somewhat, but it's getting hotter over a good portion of the U.S., except, of course, where the rain's going to be. Getting quite hot here in the southeast, nearing 100 degrees in a good portion of the country for the highs. Temperatures near 100. Obviously, with heat indexes probably high over 100, a good portion of the eastern U.S. and southeast and deep south in the coming days. As far as precip expected, you could see this is ending today at 8 a.m. where the most precips expected in the chart. Except it shows you down here what the numbers would be associated with the colors: 1 inch, 1.2, etc. 24 hours. This, if it would load, how about loading for me? Come on, what's going on with this thing? All right. So you can see where the highest precip amounts are forecast to be. As far as severe weather goes, I like to use WeatherWise to show where the severe weather is or is predicted to be today. So we have today upper Midwest, Ohio Valley, severe weather possible today, slight risk with a little bit of a 2% chance of tornadoes way up there in Michigan. Wind 10%, 5% in the broad area here. And then hail, of course, down in the desert southwest in Texas and up in the upper Midwest and Great Lakes. Day 2, showing a marginal risk in Oklahoma, Arkansas, marginal risk Pennsylvania, Virginia, and New York, with a wide swath of thunderstorm, just general thunderstorms for a good portion of the southern tier of the United States up into New England. Day 3. As I showed you on the upper level map, the flow is going to be dominated. It's going to be zonal, and there's some perturbations in the flow. The only thing is going to bring severe weather. So we have a marginal risk up here in North Dakota, South Dakota. Yeah, for day 3, we don't. There's nothing. They don't show anything more than probabilities at day 3. So the general theme is some severe weather chances are lessening over the coming days. But eventually we'll get more severe weather, just a matter of when. As far as the flooding risk goes, unfortunately, slight risk in Texas, up in New Mexico, large marginal risk all the way up into the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, Mississippi Valley, and more possible marginal risk of flooding along the East Coast. Day 3, same areas in Texas, unfortunately, and again in the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic. Day 3, interestingly enough, Florida has a slight risk. Northeast Texas, parts of Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, New Mexico, again in the Northeast corridor, Mid-Atlantic, and some in the upper Midwest. Day 4, thankfully, it shifts out of Texas, thank God, with some marginal risk in the areas here. Day 5, Florida looks to be wetter than it has been recently, and the upper Midwest is getting back in the game with flooding again. Marginal risk, anyway. Well, I'm likely to see this forecast refined over the coming as it gets closer, so we'll just have to see how that plays out. As always, be mindful of your surroundings. Make sure you get alerts on your phone. Weather alerts, make sure they're enabled. It's a very simple thing to do. All right. Next thing I'm going to go over is the future radar, and that'll be it. High resolution rapid refresh model. What it thinks the future radar will look like next 48 hours. So we have those storms moving up into the upper Midwest. This diving south here into Texas. I'm kind of suspicious about this model, whether or not it's really depicting the convection well down in the flood risk areas. It doesn't really seem like it is. You can see for today, at least for the southeast, there doesn't seem to be much firing off today. But we all know pop-up thunderstorms, you never know. We could get something in our area, or you could not. Tomorrow looks to be more active across a good portion of the U.S. You can see here. So, general theme: hot, humid, and you can also see the general flow here with the high pressure. Actually, hot, humid, and flood chances increasing in Texas in the next couple of days. So let's all be mindful of that and pray for them folks. Hope you have a great day.